All right, a very good morning to you out there. This is 32 FM 94.9. It's the morning of the 27th of March 2023. This is the Break of Dawn paper review. We're taking a look at the major headlines coming out of the newspapers. I'm KENNY&DENIKE.
You're welcome to the show this morning. We start with the Premium Times for the major story. FECMON's ex-CGS Oladipo Odeya. Editorial 2023 elections, divisive politics and national reconciliation. Away from that, you can also find WAEC suspends manual process of results confirmation. Buhari Tinubu mourn ex-CGS Oladipo Odeya. Nigeria's women cricket team T20 glory. Afenifere Fumes speaks on Yoruba are political rascals. Comment by Nwayawu. Away from that, PDP crisis, Benue Ward chapter suspends national chairman Ayu from party. And some more stories. Osime Oshoala lead winners at the Night Nigeria Pitch Awards. Away from that, Oshibajo to deliver public lecture at King's College, London. Away from that, one interview why Nigerian artists can get real economic value from foreign collaborators. And UNICEF develops child rights reporting course for Nigerian universities, polytechnics. Police arrest 79 suspected election violators in Sokoto. Adamawa rerun election, can calls for calm. And one more story. Nwayawu didn't refer to Yoruba as political rascals or Hanese.
All right, we move over to the Daily Trust newspaper. Major story here. Why some banks ignored the directive of the CBN to work weekends. PDP suspends national chairman Ayu. Fasting in Ramadan, a spiritual journey. The unwarranted attack on the SGF. Oil production rises to 1.7 million barrels per day. That's credited to the federal government. Enugu Disco to deploy 500,000 meters worth 37 billion naira to Anambra. UNN confers Zenith Bank CEO Onyagu with a doctorate degree. Also from the Daily Trust, how the speaker I defeated got me arrested during Ramadan. Yobe lawmaker elect. Also elections, why sitting presidents lose Aso Rock. Dipo Dia, Abacha's ex-deputy, dies at 78. And lastly, from the Daily Trust, governorship, real reasons, APC won more states despite upset in presidential election.
All right, the major stories on the Punch newspaper. Major story says INEC votes 3 billion naira to fight electoral cases. And there are riders that says APC, PDP, LP differ on commission's litigation budget. Litigation costly, budgets may not be enough, senior lawyers. And some more stories from the Punch. PDP vows probe as Benue Ward suspends Ayu. UK to sanction 10 Nigerians, envoy chides Fani Kayode. Political rascals, Afenifere knocks Nwayawu, demands Ohanese's clarification. And some more stories. Buhari, Obasanjo, Jonathan, others mourn as Dia dies at 78. Airfares soar as foreign airlines hike exchange rate. Lasma arrests fake official making 35,000 naira daily. That's on the red corner of the Punch newspaper. And finally, Ramadan, ex-governor donates 240 truck foodstuffs group to feed 2,000 daily.
From the Nation newspaper, I have this one. Post-poll crisis. Ayu under pressure to quit as PDP chair. How unbundling of power, railway will boost economy by experts. Dia's last moments by family, friends. APC clears Uzodinma, Silva, Leon, Adiemi for primaries. VSS nabs criminal gangs is another one there. 16 bills assented to by the president. Businesses rebound as economy gets more cash. Also, NIMET warns of possible discomfort as temperatures rise above 40 degrees Celsius. Body of Sands clash with NBA president over AGF. Malami. EFCC probe of 2 billion naira fraud. NCAA alerts workers to late salaries. ILO hails Nigeria as Ngige bows out of global body. Also, who becomes next Senate president is a question there posed by the Nation newspaper. You might want to take a look at that piece. 19 constitution review bills rejected by President Buhari. Some of the stories out of the Nation newspaper this morning. I'll try to get some more. Plateau governorship. When will it be Tiv's turn? Tinubu and Nigeria's difficult healing is among some of the opinion pieces and editorial stories from the Nation.
The Daily Post, flooding. Abia Ministry expresses worry over blocked drainages. And some more stories from the Daily Post this morning. Lagos election, LP readies suit against APC. Sanwo-Olu, PDP, silent. 2023 elections, DSS must arrest Fani Kayode for inciting comments. Article. Tuberculosis not caused by witchcraft, poison. WHO. Close ranks remain steadfast. PDP National Secretary Ayawu tells members. And this one was the effort to support achievements or your traders tell Makinde. Federal government spent 45 billion naira on 1,375 street lights, other rural power projects. This is from the REA. NCC wants a pirated YouTube software related malware. Only a man with 2 wives knows who owns his heart. Actor Yul Edochie. Lagos Nwayawo didn't refer to Yorubas as political rascals or Hanize. Senate President Mount Oladia. 2023 AFCON Q. Super Eagles arrive Bissau safely, ready to avenge defeat to Jotis. And this one says he lived a remarkable life. Tinubu reacts to death of Dia. And some more stories while we move to another paper before we go on a commercial break. This one says PDP suspends national chair Ayu with immediate effect.
All right, over to the Guardian newspaper. NLC reconsiders solid transfer by also from the Guardian paper. We'll take some other stories on there. That one particularly escapes me now. Okay, might want to take a look at some other stories.
All right, we have a commercial coming up right now. We have commercials coming up now. When we come back, we'll be back with the analysis. Stay with us this morning.
FM 94.9.
Beyond banking. Say you need something. Where they beyond banking. Make I give you the updates. We not they frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know go for your hand. Auntie brother open na the way. Anything we go save money. Super fast transactions do. Networking not they sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
Cut! I don't record them.
Finally, after 60 takes. Oh, yeah, play them.
See this man, oh, you know press record. Oh.
Skit making no be beans. Become the next big skit creator. Sign up for Airtel TV Super Skit Maker Competition for a chance to win 1 million naira. Download Airtel TV app, upload your video, get people to vote, and video with the highest number of vote wins.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
They say there is love in sharing, and we at INT'L believe there is also joy in sharing. So, as
As you go about your day in this holy month of Ramadan, from Sahur to Iftar, think about a friend, brother, sister, colleague, or even stranger. With the Happily Ever Iftar products that we have curated, you can now share the blessings of the season affordably. Visit www.altmall.ng for more information. Buy now, pay later.
Alt Mall. Shop more. Pay easy.
lọ́dún yìí ó wá gba ògo tuntun tọ́sẹ̀ méjìlá ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀ ló nílò láti yin olúwa lórí ilẹ̀ No More War Challenge Ìbàdàn.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni o ọlọ́run ló pa aláṣẹ fún bàbá àdúrà AK-47 láti ṣílẹ̀kùn ọdún tuntun pẹ̀lú kọ́kọ́rọ́ agbára tó wà nínú èyí. tọ́sẹ̀ méjìlá la fi máa ṣe é. ó máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti January 12 títí wọnú oṣù kẹta March 30 ọdún yìí. láàárọ̀ kùtùkùtù ní gbogbo Thursdays méjèèjìlá lórí ilẹ̀ No More War tó wà ní challenge ìlú Ìbàdàn. lára àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí tí ó máa wà mbẹ́ ni Màmá Bọ́lá rẹ̀ Ìlàjà Akíntúndé Ọlọ́run ò sọ bẹ́ẹ̀. Bàbá Òjó Adé Ọlọ́mọ Abúlé Adùkẹ́ Gold Bísí Aláwìyé Àlùkò àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ. Ògo tuntun ní glory la kò rí ẹ̀. gbogbo ogun tó ti gbàdúrà sí tí ó ṣe ẹ̀yìn ló máa gbẹ́ mi. ẹ fi yáyà máa bọ̀ lórí ilẹ̀ No More War tó wà challenge Ìbàdàn kájọ yin Olúwa. tẹ́ máa bọ̀ láti ìwọ́rọ̀ olùtẹ́ ẹ̀dẹ́mọ̀lẹ́tẹ́ ní kọjá bridge after center school ẹ̀ ti rí wa ń bẹ̀. ó lè jẹ́ challenge ilẹ̀ yìí ti ń bọ̀. ó dojúkọ ìkọjá Genesis díẹ̀ ni o. ẹ pè 08066481455.
Beyond banking. Say you need something. Where they beyond banking. Make I give you the update. We not they frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know go for your hand. Auntie brother open na the way. Anything we go save money. Super fast transactions. Networking not they sleep. Run and one time they stop. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
So, as you wake up one first check highlight for early momo, you can't remember say time for school runs on ritual. Baller we sabi be 1-4% hand for there. How you go do your thing? Come still catch up with your game. That na baller we sabi. How you go do your waka? Come still watch the game full time. Abi, come on, baller. Showmax dey your side. Sake of say dem dey summer you with better leagues for any screen, anytime, any day. No matter where you dey. For chicken money will be 3,200 naira a month. Live from SuperSport on Showmax Pro. Make you sign up for showmax.com.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account o. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account or inside your Momo account to fiam make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
32 FM
94.9.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa, just use Momo. You wan buy recharge card or data, just use Momo. You wan pay for market wey you buy, just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account. Make you fit dey pay for anything, send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, it's great to have you back with us. 32 FM 94.9, the Break of Dawn paper review. I'm Kenny Durutilu.
And I am Adenike. Ademo Agro-Austin Idumo joins us this morning for the analysis. And our first story this morning.
Good morning, Austin.
Good morning, Ken. Adenike, good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's start off with this one. The Benue chapter of the PDP we hear yesterday announced the suspension of the party's national chairman, Senator Iyacha Ayu. Now, you might recall, Austin, that the NWC of the party also referred Samuel Ortom, that's the governor of the state, for a disciplinary probe and all of that, apparently for alleged anti-party activities. Now, for Yocha Ayu, they're saying that he worked against the success of the party at ward level. He also failed to pay his annual subscription, amongst a bunch of other things that he said he did now. So the question for you this morning, Austin, is what's going on within the PDP, at this time?
Yes, the PDP can be best described as a house that is divided against itself. And any house that is divided against itself cannot stand. There has to be unity and cohesion within the PDP or any other party for that matter before you can now provide leadership on a national level in terms of governance. Of course, this was the same path PDP told after the loss of the 2015 election. They destabilized the party to an extent that the party almost went into extinction, if not for the likes of Governor Nyesom Wike of the party at that time, who stood and said, come what may, the party must continue to exist. After any loss of any election, I think the best thing to do is to retreat, look at where you are falling. Of course, a lot of their members worked against the party, that no doubt. But there are better ways of handling the matter. Last week, it was the turn of Payoshe and all other people. And the most interesting thing about all of this is that we saw it coming, that all of this were going to happen. If they say in Boko that Ayu was engaged in anti-party activity, well, I don't know what that means. All I can say is that he couldn't deliver his word for his party. So when appointing people into party position or when electing people into party position, we also look at one, political influence, second, electoral value. What is the electoral value? I remember that was the crux of the matter. What caused crisis within the PDP?
Yeah.
Let Ayu go, not even for electoral value, for the purpose of equity and balance. Atiku Abubakar feel that Ayu should not go. If Ayu should go, the party will collapse. You understand? Now that he has been suspended from his ward level, what would the likes of Atiku Abubakar do? I don't know whether we are getting it. Right. Ayu led them into this particular election and they failed, and they saw the failure coming. We are all pretending now as if they should have won the election, despite the fact that it was a house they were divided even before that particular election. So the arrangement was that let the national chairman of the party and the presidential candidate should not come from the second half of the country, but as it were, the chairman of the party, the presidential candidate, the DG presidential campaign council, all from a section of the country. And you wanted cohesion, you wanted unity. So for me, I just feel that this is the way PDP will continue for some time. And if care is not taken, that may lead to the natural death of the party.
So what's your position on one of the reasons they gave? They said that he did not vote during the governorship and state assembly elections. You talk about...
they were all in Benue, except they can also prove that. For them to assume that he didn't vote, of course, they had to provide evidence. Or perhaps they may have gotten their evidence to suggest that he didn't vote. I don't know why the national chairman of a party will either choose not to vote or deliberately decide not to vote.
Yeah, I was going to ask your position as regards the law on that one.
The law on what?
On, voting. Is it compulsory for...
Ayu is a citizen. He can decide not to vote. He can decide to vote. But the status of a national chairman, that is what I'm just trying to picture. Yeah. What could inform the decision of a national chairman of a party
not to
vote for his own party? The question of whether you voted for your party is not even what we are talking about, because it's secret ballot. You may not even vote for your party.
Right.
But for him to not stay at home, I would not vote, except from his ward level, from where he voted. Those who have brought up that accusation may have their evidence. But one thing I know about the election and what Ayu has failed to do is that he couldn't deliver his word, and it's not the only person. The city president could not even deliver his own state for the candidate of his party.
He has company there.
Yes, there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them who couldn't deliver. Who could do deliver their state. Some could do deliver their ward. Some could do even deliver their polling units. But like I said, after every election, you do a kind of appraisal. You do a situation assessment and look for a way forward, not to die with the loss of an election.
All right, let's talk about the cash crunch. This one says banks confirm receiving more cash, loads ATMs. And there's another headline here in correlation to that says that the review cashless policy, small business owners tell federal government. Now, it seems that there might be some sort of relief after the announcement from the CBN last week, Friday, and banks were ordered to open. And now the small business owners are crying out to the federal government to review the cashless policy as it is affecting their business. What is the fate of SMEs, and what are we doing moving forward with this cashless policy?
Well, Nigeria economic situation have been particularly hostile, especially to small businesses. A lot of them has closed shop even before this cash brouhaha. You understand? Governments bring up policy that deliberately kill businesses. You understand?
Right.
The policy of government as far as businesses is concerned, number one is to provide an enabling environment, majorly again to create an incentive environment, an environment that at the end of the day, if you are into critical sector of the economy like production, incentive should be for you so as to be able to do business, because any man that is into business is indirectly creating job and also adding to the economy. So government has brought up policy in recent time that have been hostile to businesses.
So you think it's intentional, these policies?
It might not really be intentional, but those who are economy planner of the government, they don't know what they are doing. Simply put, look at the cash policy, for example. It was not as if it was not well intended. It was not as if it was a bad idea all along. But the implementation was so poor to the extent that it was tied to the election. People were dying and nobody listened. The Supreme Court gave judgment. Nobody want to listen. They want to force it down the throat of the people at all costs. Meanwhile, there's a difference between volume of cash in circulation and money in circulation. So all of this the CBN got wrong. As it is now, we have gradually gone back to square one, even further than where we began. So that's just the issue. But for the cash crunch, I think the situation is improving.
Right.
Towards the end of last week, some bank even worked during weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
And that actually seemed to ease, the pressure a whole lot, because coming this morning, you could see lesser queues at the ATMs as against, the previous weeks where we had lots of people, and you're wondering, why didn't they do that all along? Why didn't they actually, set up these measures, and we're just seeing those ones now?
That is why we have said that some of this government economic policy, they are not well thought out policy. They are conceived from narrow-mindedness, just parochially look at it from an angle without putting all the factors on the table. A lot of people were surprised that the CBN could do this. After all the level of adamancy and what have you, they had to come back again to hit their vomit. Of course, tension is gradually easing off. I saw people at the ATM this morning. I never expected such, because there were high volume of cash withdrawal Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, Sunday. So I never expected, but it will also take time for all of this to abate, because we want to go back to a period where Nigerians can sleep well at home before coming out.
Right.
It makes no economic sense for people to wake up by 4 a.m. just to withdraw money. How much are we even talking about? Maybe a maximum withdrawal of 20,000, for example. Now that the situation has improved, we shouldn't have gotten to this level in the first instance if we had a serious government, a serious CBN who put economy before politics. All of these were politically motivated. That's just the truth. What do you expect when you even have a CBN governor who showed interest in contesting for the office of the president? the president made the mistake. It was at that time he would have allowed the CBN governor to go.
Right.
Some people will come this morning and say, oh, it was not the fault of Emefiele. It was Buhari. Emefiele was not the CBN governor in 1984. In 1984, there was no CBN governor that wanted to contest for president. So there are a lot of factors.
All right, Austin, let's have you speak on INEC setting aside 3 billion naira for the prosecution of election-related cases.
Yes, 3 billion is huge, which means that even before the election, we have envisaged that there are going to be crises, irrespective of the measure that we put in place. That is on the part of litigation from the side of INEC. If you now look at the side of political party, the side of candidate, we are most likely going to run into hundreds of billions. That is too much. I wish that we can improve further in our electoral process so that this amount will be needless, because the voting of this is that at every election, for what INEC have failed to do that is right, people will definitely take INEC to court, and INEC had to prepare in terms of hiring their own lawyer, providing evidence, and also prosecuting their own case. So for me, if we do the normal and the right thing, well, I think it's needless. But we just have to also look back. Is this the highest? I know every year to INEC vote money for litigation after every election. What is the situation? Have we improved? Does it mean that this is the highest? What was the vote for litigation after 2019 election? What was the vote for litigation after 2015 election? Because for the first time in the history of Nigeria, the level of litigation went down after the 2015 election. Right. Because the 2015 election signaled like a paradigm shift compared to where we were coming from.
Right.
You understand? Of course, Beavers has also done a lot of things. Despite that, people are still aggrieved. Apart from voting money, let INEC appraise the situation. Where are the loopholes? Beavers has worked. RF gave us issue during the presidential election. In other segments of election, it really worked. I mean the RF. So what are we going to do differently in another cycle of election? So we begin to look at that. I think INEC too, apart from voting this billion for prosecution of cases, should also look at the possibility in another cycle of general election, the possibility of eliminating ballot boxes, ballot paper. Let it be integrated and automated. In short, I see no reason why anybody should be disenfranchised. My view is that as a journalist, you went for election coverage, you have your card, you can vote anywhere. Let it be such that the card is not tied to a particular location or a particular polling unit. Of course, if I have my ATM card, for example, I can get to Kano and use it. I can also get to Lagos and use it because it's my card, it has my data. I think we should work in that direction, apart from just voting money for litigation. This happen after every election. The idea of voting money, but INEC must also come out to give us the analysis. What has it been before? What is the situation? Are we progressing, or we are not making progress at all?
Okay, speaking of data, before we go to the commercial break, 2023 census will be digital, says NOA boss. This is from the Punch newspaper, and there's another headline from the Daily Post that says that the census, federal government confirms date for commencement of 2023 census. Now, I want to talk about this digital thing. Will a digital census work? Infrastructurally, are we there? What does digital census even mean? And how do they conduct census of people that have been displaced from their homes due to insecurity and IDPs and all of that?
Yes, it can still be done. It's unfortunate that we are going to have a number of displaced people. But government can provide security, and that will also be done. Then on the issue of deploying technology in terms of digitalizing the process, it is very good, because for a purposeful national development plan, there must be adequate data to work with in terms of figure. Nigeria is a country of estimation. We have estimated billing for electricity. Population wise, we have estimated population. Nobody can simply say this is the actual number of the population that we have in Nigeria. So this suffices to say that population census in Nigeria is long overdue. By law, it should be 10 years. If I can recall, the last one was during Obasanjo, 2006. It was overdue in 2016. That was not conducted. What is the MPC doing differently this time around? Let them come up with technology. Look at Beavers, for example. Beavers has eliminated multiple voting in an election. So let MPC also come up to tell us the type of technology they are deploying, because so many people, especially in a section of the country, they pad their population, and that shouldn't be.
Will the people have faith in? Because when you talk about digital, people think about INEC, Beavers, all the things that went wrong, and census is a very huge deal. So how are we going to handle whether the figures given to us at the end of the day wasn't quote unquote rigged?
See, Denike, whether we like it or not, Beavers has worked. It has its challenges. But for the first time in election in Nigeria, it has been able to checkmate some politicians. That's just the truth. It has worked. No system is perfect. You understand? Nobody ever knew that election could be conducted where we will not have up to 1 million in a state, especially the presidential election. You understand? It really never happened before in the history of the country. So let MPC come up to tell us the type of technology so that people will not be counted in a multiple time. Then why is the president hell-bent on conducting census before leaving office?
Are they ready for it? May 3rd to 5th.
After us, it has belonged overdue. So why some people are also looking at that? Why is President Muhammadu Buhari, why is he insisting on conducting the census before leaving office? Don't forget, census is just like the process of election too. We have petition tribunal for census. A lot of people do not know that. For those who also will ring the census figure, you understand? Let there be a technology in place that will make people automatically not to be counted more than once, because that is what happened in most part of the country. All especially in the section of the country. So we must address that. We need to go on that
break. We need to go on that break. When we come back, we'll open the phone lines. So stay with us.
32 FM
94.9.
Beyond banking. Say you need something. Where they beyond banking. Make a DVD update. We not they frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know go for your hand. Auntie brother open na the way. Anything we go save money. Super fast transactions do. Network you know they sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
Babe, how we want to pay for baking course? With small money where person they make.
Course? No, because I be bake like pro. No worry, I get plan.
You get plan.
I get super binge plan.
For whatever you want to learn on YouTube, you need a plan like the INT'L Super Binge Plan. Simply dial *141*514# now to enjoy 2 GB of data and 1 hour worth of free YouTube data every day for just 500 naira.
INT'L, the smartphone network.
You did dull yourself this afternoon. You did dull yourself this afternoon. You did dull yourself this afternoon. No allow any dulling for your life, oh. Enjoy that your break moment with 5 Alive Poppy. Now correct enjoyment will go cool your body, come ginger and join. Make you use the enjoyment where they inside 5 Alive Poppy take hold your side. They available for different delicious flavors. 5 Alive Poppy, filled with life.
They say your life and destiny is in your hands, and that's why Glow has brought instant money into your hands by giving you the power to buy your Green Lotto tickets with your Glow airtime. So when you dial *73342# on your Glow line, you can buy Green Lotto tickets with your airtime. Play your favorite games, check your results, and get your winnings via airtime or direct transfer to your bank account. Now you have the power to change your life with your hands by dialing *73342# on your Glow line to play on Green Lotto using your airtime and win instant cash today. Glow Unlimited.
beyond banking. Say you need something where they beyond banking. Make I give you the update. We not they frustrate. Open at the package. Relax your mind. You know go for your hand. Auntie brother open na the way. Anything we go save money. Super fast transactions speed. Network you know they sleep. Run and one time is done. Open beyond banking. Open beyond banking.
OPay beyond banking.
32 FM 94.9.
All right, thank you for staying with us on the show this morning. Our numbers for you to call 070-55-000-949. We have a call. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm John. Thank you, Austin and Kenny and Adenike there. Austin, let me just remind you that even if PDP resolved the issue with P5, PDP will still not have won. I told you with the exclusion of the nation out of its political calculation and the emergence of Obi outside PDP spelled doom for the party. Number two, over the elections, thank you, I heard what you said. I read work in other elections, particularly the gubernatorial and the National Assembly election as said it. But say during the presidential poll, because I like place to predetermined script. Let me tell you what happened in my state area. In Nadia Group poll, Professor Nena Uti, the chief returning officer at the collation hall, that was on Wednesday, hall said during the announcement of collected results, the woman professor disclosed she got a directive from the Abuja NEC headquarters on the direction they wanted this to go. But she disagreed and insisted on doing the right thing, and they announced an SOC of Labour Party as winner. You know what happened. How many IREC officials would not bow to such a pressure? I can assure you, there is no difference between 2023 election and that of 2007. That was that do or die. And I believe the judiciary will reverse most of those people that have been claimed to have won, especially the gubernatorial election. You will see what will happen. It is the worst in the history of the election. I'm John Nelson. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We have another call coming through before we go on to Facebook. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Auntie.
Good morning.
Good morning, Austin and the gentleman there. Yeah, you see this issue of IRF working, beavers and whatnot. I think I understand it differently. You see, the National Assembly, the State Assembly, and the governorship election were all handled at the state level. It is only the presidential election that go to the national. You understand me? That is how I understand this. So it has no problem at the state level. But when it comes to the national, that is where the problem lies. And that is why we have a lot of hacking attempts at the national level. Good morning.
All right,
morning.
thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. We can hear you.
Yeah, Adeshi from UI.
Okay.
Augustine is asking about the reason why the president is hell-bent on conducting census at all costs. If you look at history, General Musa Mohammed nullified bad census that time before he was killed. So let's forget about that one. You see, on the issue of IU, there is one impression I always like to correct that I don't like. When somebody is saying we can remain in PDP and build PDP, I'm not asking all of them, IU and Wike team should bow out for youth now. But Wike, I want to ask a question. At what point Wike would have left PDP? Is it when he was the chief of staff, local government chairman, minister, as governor? So they are the same. Even Fayoshe in the PDP left for parties and contested for Senate and law. So they can become, because Wike was in position, because he has the occupied position, he couldn't have left. So you and Atiku and Wike, they are all pursuing setting. That was what paved way for this systematic rigging of presidential election.
All right.
Otherwise, I'm telling you, the election would have not, they systematically rigged the election.
All right, thank you very much. Facebook, Miriam Yetune says, "Good morning. It's a good thing to know that the recent development taken by CBN governor is yielding a positive effect, because report has it that the crisis is getting reduced because people now have access to withdraw more cash. I hope this will put an end to the cash crisis totally. Congratulations, Nigerians." And some more. Balkis Onodiran says, "Even if it is now much easier to obtain Naira notes, I will not commend the CBN governor, Buhari, and his allies for implementing a policy that has crippled SMEs, raised inflation, and caused unnatural deaths from starvation. Even if you are weak in one area, it is simple to hire professionals to manage the area of production. Unfortunately, nepotism and tribalism in Buhari's administration have led to many plumbers working as tailors." Boluwatife Ademijuwon says, "Good morning. Will the forthcoming census really hold? Because to me, some parts of the country are still battling with different shades of insecurity. I think the central government should end insurgency first, because security is strictly the government's business. Then afterwards, they can proceed with census." Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm Sheriff calling from Manara.
All right.
On what the NPC chairman said, the National Pension Commission, I think you need to come out and explain the type of digital they want to use. Because if we come out and explain, the good people of maybe the Nigerian people should prepare very well. Either they want to use a smartphone or something like computer to make it incorporate one, to make it easy. Because no system is perfect, but we want a transparency one, not a bigger figures without any VAT. That's my own take this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. It's time for us to leave the studio.
Yeah,
Austin,
but before we go,
okay.
Austin, the former Chief of General Staff, Oladipo Dia, he's passed on now at the age of 79. Anything you want to say about that?
Yes, he later lived a good life. He passed on peacefully, despite the fact that the powers that be in 1997 wanted to send him to early grave. Well, we do not have enough time to talk about Dia. We have so much to talk about him. He was a perfect gentleman, a soldier who rose through the rank. And also, at some point, the issue of loyalty was tested, and he couldn't stand the test. Then lastly, on the issue of people cross carpet, it is not only people who do not hold position that cross carpet. We have seen governors leaving their party for another party. So God bless Nigeria.
All right, thank you so much for joining us this morning. I am Adenike Ademuwago.
I'm Kenny Dorotsilu. Good morning.
FM 94.9. Now we dey fill the world with laughter.
Your problem.
FM 94.9.